say a man on Kosuye, no maybe in Kosuye and Sua. Say, met me no what now or say, Bia, me no a book of Shata Frey, and I say, me babaji contract be or na minti me, yes, sir. And me bema, and no maybe or high, best sapa, me share ministries be crowd or her. Ministries be crowd or that. Obi bisa me say, and I'm ministers in our way. Ministers, a be or hopper, a be so baba, a be so mudada. Name no, a be or her as I see a close in kakra. And Sunday, you the right idea for that ministry. And Sunday, you be. Now, right people are on betting them. And yes, Unya, now the minister, now the deputy, now for the offer NIPA 500, now Kobobosia or IMF, now the ability Omoka. Until we have to cut all of these things economically. And I think, say, the MPs, no, they're okay because we are MP, Ghana, and just says, say, what Land Cruiser 3. We are vice then, and just says, say, what Dankers here. It's a say, idea you a Juma, Ode, a back of mining, and in Crofua, or Boam, and tell me idea, Medimani, a better ashe. Say, a no free hoba, name free on Madia. I don't see why you should get all these benefits. So, and now last one, language, you know. Language there, pa. Uko China, umusia there, ewo omoamu language, Mandarin. Uko Singapore, ubiyesu there on a language. Uko Dubai, ubiyesu there on a language. Uba Africa, yaka brofo. Na yo a language. But we say there's a problem with that. But I've also seen an advantage with that. The problem is that Oshe Ukura, ebia ye different kasa, ebia 10 and 20 and 30. So the different languages, no. So me share krani no on teach ya. Me me express me. Say me share training so na me agbeni a, ono so me express no. Tu hwa. Brofo ne ade ba ko a ababaye national language, continental language. Ye betimi di express ye ho. Nti se nya mre na enti ase ye betima ba ye betimi yusu sa brofo na. Yenyusu no wonyansa semu. Yenyusu sa brofo no e wonyansa semu. Na omukra na omwa abonten no omohu say policies na ye ka no nyansa wom because me dey minim say kosi broni a o kire me brofo no wa ye mistake say o kire me because emre bi beba no the power of my governance and how I will use that same language to influence our continent, that will bring me the power that my own tree language cannot do. But I do respect my language and I do respect all dialects in the country. And I think that there will be a day that if they're not able to speak the Tree or the Ga in Parliament, there should be some sort of translation, even if you're watching on television, that would be able to translate what they're saying to you so you can understand. Any questions I will be saying. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. My name is Bernard Keidaze, Oyerpa Television. I have a couple of questions, but I will ask only one.
Thank you.
What is your stand on the debate surrounding the free SHS program? Should it be abolished or reviewed? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so first of all, I'm not here to judge a policy, whether it should be abolished or it should continue. But I think, say, as a country, we have to have the structure and the planning to be able to give free education to our people. The question is, can we afford it? Because free education will probably come from tax people's money or our reserves. Say, and we have a minus. Our GDP says 75 billion, but we can't get 3 billion. We have to go and borrow it from IMF. That means there's a big vacuum in our economy. And this problem should be looked at so it can support the decision that we've taken to give free SHS. And Tisa, Abia, the cost of it, the kids will have 3 months education and they'll go and stay home 3 months. They'll come back and they'll stay home 3 months because when you budget what it costs to give a nation free education is really high. That means your turnover also should be really high. I believe that if Ghana has exporting power, you see, the way to build your economy is to have exportation power, where you export a lot of goods outside. So people's economy will come into your country. If you take your money to go and import goods into your country, you're sending your economy to those people. And so the same government, if he decides to give free education, he needs that avenues that is producing revenues in the country and causing a circulation and bringing profit into the governmental system to cater for that. And they could have problems. So it's very important that we look at how our developmental agenda in this country is, the benefits that is bringing, the profitability schedules, and then apply economy of scale so we can expand education in our country from that angle. Besides that, I also think that if we're educating our people, whether it's free or pay for, please educate your country about what is in your country. The minerals in your country is important. The governance in your country is important. What the value of gold is. And can common also be metunko. Say idea keke, what it does with an irrigation system that would feed our agriculture, and the agriculture is the same food that will do the processing, which will give us the exportation power once it's processed. The agric is one, the culture is two. The culture is to process it. Now the processing is being restricted. If you don't have this education about putting plants and putting the things in place that would process these things and package them so you can put them on shelves, or you can put them in warehouses and people will load them in containers like Americans are doing, like Indians are doing, like Europeans are doing. That is the education that we need in our country. We have to add it to our academic curriculum. And this is free education, free this, free this, free that. But we cry school now, and whatever free education that we've given our children that we're going to get benefits from, obi ifrabrichi eba befa ako. That's what I meant by exporting talent. We export our talents out and we import our products in. The product that we're importing came from the resources, the mineral resources that they extracted from us. So all we have to do is to put industrialization in the equation and everything changes. Everything. Obano on school and Kobe. Because you create millionaires, you create entrepreneurs, you create governors, you create leaders. Now, Obia developing a crew. Oka Bruchira, omo develop your mukro. And omo develop your mini panels or woman. Taxes are for disabled, BBR, they cater for them. So the value of the country grows. When you put your nation first, your country automatically grows. Automatically. When you disregard your nation and you think your country is rich and you start to trade your resources, your country and the people will suffer. And that is torturing humans. So free education can be good if we can afford for it and if we can let the people learn about our resources. Thank you.
Let me have a few comments to make on free education. It's been there since 1957, but not the way it's being implemented today. How can my batman who cleans my house go to school and pay fees, or pay as well as myself, a chief of defense staff or security advisor? The system we had was that the fee for ordinary people, fishermen, farmers, poor people. How could I become serious? If a fisherman today, Ateshi or Winneba or Nzema, you will not even become anything in Ghana unless somebody push you. So the whole idea was help children of poor people to come up. And it wasn't meant for rich people. How can a Pesaco's grandson or granddaughter get free education? It's just rubbish. It's nonsensical. It's for people at Teshi, at Nungwa, Lulumensa, at Winnipeg. If you know Winnipeg, I could hear the waves when they hit the ground. I was sleeping at the beach. Yes, I became chief of defense staff. My mother was selling plantain. There was no way she could pay my school fees. There was no way my father could. The state comes in there and help you to become somebody. But not the children of ministers who are driving Land Cruisers. Not the president who is driving so many. It doesn't make sense. It is stupid. So let's make policies which make sense. I went to Britain in 1983 with my son. He's here right now. He's a medical surgeon in Britain. What is I didn't pay 1 peso. They were what you call means testing. I filled a big form. So I had children, I had other people dependent upon me, so I couldn't pay. The state then paid my son to become a surgeon as I speak to you now. That is how you manage a nation. But today, you know, you go to school, it's free. And as I'm saying, I was saying a moment ago, my partner who sweeps my room, if his child went to school, it's free. I can defend that. But how can I not pay my children's school fees? I can, of course, pay it. Why should the state pay it for me? So that we are then able to, the school education system now, look, they are hungry. They're not even Gary, they can't get Gary to eat. Say I am lying, and I can't prove to you. I bet O'Reilly, I go there, they are hungry. So don't do things which doesn't make sense. We don't use our heads properly. I'm sorry. And you young people, you are better educated. I never went to secondary. I went to secondary school at the age of 20. And by the age of 3 years, I had completed my education into the army. Fast track. Went to the army with the Francis Prince and Achimota. And go and see my record in Ghana and in Britain. The greatest army school in the world, Sandhurst. His father was a fisherman. The mother was selling plantain in the market. Let's create Ghana that ordinary people can rise. Because the way it is now, they will never rise. We are stepping on their neck. They can't rise. And that's not fair. Again, when people retire, the car that, you know, that official car, then the car for the ministers. I had one as a school advisor. When I retired, my daughter said, I said, I wouldn't take the car. I said, yeah, sir, why are you not taking the car? Everybody's taking the car. And I said, I am not everybody. I'm going to go and return the bloody car to the state. It's wrong. Let's have integrity. Let's have morality. It is wrong. Why should you come to, next time they are going, they'll go to other languages and buy a new one. How can you be rich? You'll be stupidly poor. That's who we are. You are poor with stupidity. And that shouldn't happen. If I live in Ghana, I'm alive, and Kwame becomes somebody, I'll make sure that we do all these stupid things, we stop doing them. Anybody from Labadi, you go to Labadi, see trade fair. It was given to Nkrumah, the land there, a huge land. Great trade fair, 1966. But Nkrumah was overthrown. It came on the next year, 67. Then government decides not to go ahead. The property belongs to Labadi people. Why are they taking them? And Ghanaian people. They are selling the new press are also mute, like dumb, deaf and dumb. And you go, they're opium. Who is scaring you? Nobody can scare you. Speak the truth. I've never been scared by anybody. Because I always live by the truth and will die by the truth. Why are you selling the land there? You go to Makola. Go to old Kingsway, driving down Cocoa Board to ETC. See the women on the street. That makes me sick. My mother never sold food stuff on the streets. Yet we don't care with our Land Cruisers. We live around. And then we sell the assets and press again. Have you been bribed not to open your mouth or what? Who has bribed you? I will unchain your mouth, you can talk. I keep on saying, Kwame, 2 years I'll be 90. I don't know whether I'll be around. Maybe I'll be gone. But I worry for you. I worry for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's our last question.
Oh, but we have to give Concon
morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, you are yearning for the youth, and the same youth are still following NDC and NPP. So what is your position? So you are just crying for youth. All your message is youth empowerment, how you can come, all your youth. But they see the same people still vote campaign for NDC and NPP. Are they ready for you? Lastly, how do you see can we use common currency to trade? Because we are talking of $1 million, and now they cannot use a common currency if your policy comes. It's the issue of common currency. I know the city is weak. So how can you use common currency in order to trade around in our trade and business?
Thank you. Thank you very much. No, I would answer his question first because it's two questions, right? So let's start with the youth. And this is a great moment to address this issue. That the youth might be making a lot of noise and not be using their voice as much as they're supposed to. Don't think I don't know it. I do. Don't think I also don't know that they're splitted and they're over there and over there. Because I found the root. And the root is when they have the chance to have their democratic right and learn about democracy, they don't allow them. They let them go into university and that's where they buy them. That's when they make them the SRCs and start giving them money to campaign. And so we're cheating our children to become straight, corrupt politicians, or it's either that or they're in the church praying and they're going to become some kind of pastor that will tell you what your future is going to be like, but they can't determine their own future. This is a country that we live in that I want to make it very clear that I don't need your consent to love you. I don't need your consent to stand for you. So I want to make it very clear to the youth that as much as I stand for them and I scream for them, it's not because I need your consent. It's because I'm thinking about the ones who are unborn yet to come. Because I know that if I don't fix this problem and if I don't help fix it, it will become a generational problem and it will keep going down and down and down and down and down. So I don't just think for the people of today, but I also think for the people for tomorrow. And that's why I stand for the youth. So that's what I mean by I stand for the youth. And I know most of them don't even have votes. Because when I started advocating for this continuation for voting, for vote registration, they all went quiet. I was expecting the youth of this country to get up and stand for their rights. And ask questions to the EC. Why are you not allowing us to have the votes? Why are you giving us 20 days out of the whole year to practice democracy? But they can't. But it's not my problem and I will not be responsible for someone being coward. But I'm a very courageous man and I was born to be like that. And I'm sure that's the reason why God has chosen me to come and lead. Because if the youth had that courage, maybe they would have started this before me. But my neck is out, my face is out. I have started a movement and I have opened a door that not only me will be like this as from now, from tomorrow, in the years coming, you're also going to see young people like me who will gather the courage and start to work like this. And it's because we need to start our leadership from a younger age. Don't expect people who have outlived their future to build your future. General is here. He's already accepted to you that I'm 88 years old. I want 10, 20 years for him, but he's only thinking that it's 2 years. So if someone is 75 years old, don't think that they can think to build your future for you for the next 50 years or 80 years. Leadership should start when we're young. When you look at Nkrumah, when he started this, he was in his 40s. All the people around him were 40s. They were energetic. They were aggressive. They were ready to work. They were ready to stand in the sun. And why are you just standing there and thinking that the old man who you are responsible to look after them, they looked after you before. It's your time to look after them. You are still thinking that they're going to build your future. I think people who are thinking this way are lazy people. They're not ready to get up. And a lot of Ghanaian youth are like that. I am addressing this issue now because they think all they have is a voice and I'm the youth and I'm the youth, my friend. Tomorrow will come, you will no more be the youth. You will be an old man. So if you're going to stand on your feet now and move and make sure that you contribute to the success of the development in this country, you better do it now to be with the history men for tomorrow. Now, the second one, it's about the currency, right? Why do we have a currency that will base the currency on someone else's currency? our currency is valued and hedged by the US dollar. But here is the expression in the mistake we're doing. They always say that to make or to create wealth or value, you need wisdom. And it's true. You need a lot of wisdom. You need a lot of knowledge. But to be wise, what does it take? You simply need to understand what it takes to be stupid so you don't repeat stupidity. And you're a wise person. Excuse my language. But coming to the fact of what we are doing with our currency, that we keep repeating that. Okay? The US dollar has pledged gold to the US dollar as their reserves. They come to buy the gold from you, give you the US dollar, and then you pledge your city to it. And you don't have anything to take the US dollar into your system constantly. Americans are not buying anything from us every day. We are buying things from them every day. So we're forced to change our cedi to their dollar and go and buy those things. They don't buy anything. The only thing they buy from us is the gold. And they don't buy it from the citizens. They buy it directly from the government. So why haven't we hedged our cedi to our gold? I want to tell you that one of our main policies of the freedom economy, the economic freedom that we're bringing is this: hedging the gold to the cedi. This would make Ghana become the #1 country that can control a continental currency. Because we use that to build. I know some of you heard of the Freedom Coin. Yes, it was very scary. If the government had to let me in, I'll probably become the next trillionaire and I'll borrow money to everyone in Africa. Because you just have to create reserves. And you have the reserves. We have attributable reserves in this country. Trillions of gold. Trillions. We have been so lazy, just like how we're voting, just like how we're standing up for our rights. And the gold is there. We haven't even bought the right plants to do hard rock mining, this, that, just galamsey. We're just, creeping around the sun and taking small gold from gravels. When you have the rock there. And even the government's investment should be in the rock. Why should we have the likes of Ashanti Goldfield when it's not Ashanti? The company is somewhere from South Africa. Why should we have all these companies from Belgium and from Australia in our country? And they're taking our gold to go and create reserves, and they borrow money just by showing the gold they've taken from us and come back and reborrow it to us and take all our concessions. Come on. It's the thinking process. It's dead. It's dead. And we cannot be sitting here and thinking that somebody will come from outside and build our nation for us and make our currency stronger. We are going to make our currency stronger. If we have all of these platforms, which is industrial, we will have a circulating economy. In fact, I intend to import talents. The idea of me telling you that I'm going to take the Chinese and keep them here for working for 4 years hard labor is part of importing talent. But I'm cutting the importation system out because they're already here and they've spoiled my water. After that, I will still bring different types of people in the world, from Europe, from America, from everywhere. They have to come and work for us. The same gold, they can drill, they can do the job for us. We just need to think like investors and business people. And that's why I think Ghana needs this sort of new leadership. Not the leadership who have studied political science, but doesn't know how to build a building or doesn't know how to create business. We need a CEO in this country. Someone that values the resources in this country. Someone that values the humans in this country. Someone that values the citizens in this country. Someone that values their position, that they are responsible and accountable for this country. And those that know the value of money would always understand what life is worth. I am one of those. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, my name is Eugene Osafo Nkansa. I am a blogger and the president for New Media Association of Ghana. The various cancellations you've had so far and...
Peridaisa a 30 ans. Cet été, le meilleur zoo d'Europe vous invite à découvrir son nouveau monde japonais et à vivre une journée d'émerveillement au contact des pandas, éléphants, gorilles et des 7500 autres merveilles protégées dans le parc. Paradisa, tout l'amour du monde.
So, yes, there's been a lot of cancellations and there's been a lot of destructions. It looks like it's a sabotage, and really it can be defined as that. People like us, we refuse to accept these things. I always think that if you're looking for strength, then first of all, you should find your weakness. And whenever people come against you, that problem you should embrace. Behind that problem, you're going to find a greater opportunity. When the convention was cancelled, we became one of the most popular political movement in the history of Africa. We went across to China, to Spain, to France. They were all talking about the man in the mask. In fact, I didn't know that I was the first person in history to have come out politically with a mask on. And now I'm sure very soon there are going to be some universities in the world that they will learn about this particular movement and how it came and changed the narrative of politics. See, I'm not saying that I know exactly what I'm doing and exactly who I'm going to be tomorrow, but I'm listening to the voice and I'm obedient and I'm fair and I'm moving forward. And those who think what I'm doing cannot be done should not just get in the way. Because as you're seeing, people are falling and people are stumbling. People think that they're pulling
of
me
Roads,
down,
Highways
but they're pushing me
Department,
out.
Eddie.
People think that they're going to stop what I'm doing, but they're giving me more confidence, more vim to do what I'm doing. And on this note that I will use to answer the second question at the same time, that am I expecting to see my face on the ballot? Yes, I am expecting to see my face on the ballot because I've done everything that is right to be a part of this national governance. If I don't deserve to be on the ballot, then what is the proof that people who are already on there have the right to be there? Because I'm a basic citizen who is following the rules, the regulations of this country. What you want us to submit, we're going to submit it. Whatever that you want us to do, we're going to make sure we do it. But yeah, you can cancel events, you can cancel TV shows, you can cancel that, you can change headlines. But this is the government, and we expect the government to do the right thing. You know, I mean, there must be a lot of corruption in this country, but I must say that we should not mix that with our governance. It's very important that we protect the governance of this country. And I would like to use this moment to also address this issue with the media of this country. That I always want to tell you, since I got into this political industry, I realized that a lot of these media platforms are in the pocket of politicians and not in the interest of the nation. I'm using this moment to address you that, listen, carefully. You might have a job that you're doing. But remember, if you connive the mindset of this nation and drift them into a different place by lying to them for the sake of a politician's interest, you're partly responsible for all of these people who are dying, jobless, struggling, they're cursing. Let's start to deal with facts and truth. That is the subject of the matter. In the past 40 years, this country's governance has been based on the media's final presentation or awareness or message that they sent. And from the time I started the New Force, I have witnessed a lot of backwards of messages, upside down messages, turning it this way, that way. We cannot do this to our people. If we want to go all the way to become as trustworthy as the likes of CNN and BBC for whatever Africa media platform, that one day the world would like to listen to whatever information that they're bringing because they're facts. We should start practicing this now. We should not let the politicians convince us and turn us into Judas, because this country's downfall, I repeat it again, that most of the media platforms in this country are partly responsible for it. And I'm urging all of you, please, let's do what is right for our nation. Let's not stand there and be convinced and let people pay us so we connive with them and do what is opposite. Let's not tell lies to the people just because we've been paid to tell lies. Let's ask some sensible questions to our leaders so we can find out why they should be accountable and why they should be responsible. Let's not cover their wrongdoings and try to pull anything else that will come out from any angle. So please, the national media and all the entities, all the people, the workers, the owners, bring your head together. There's a revolution going on around the world. And it's not just Ghana. It's everywhere in the world. And remember, you pay a price for the life you live and the thoughts you breed. Thank you.
May I add one word one or two words to what Kwame has said. If the Electoral Commission put obstacles in the way of Kwame, the question was, how would he react? The reason why I'm with Kwame is this, that I'm told Kwame has money. I'm not here because of his money. Get that very clear. I'm here because I want a better Ghana after me. If the Electoral Commission put obstacles in the way of Kwame, the youth of this country should wake up and act. Because here's a man who is going to save them, and they are putting obstacles in his way. He doesn't care. Kwame can go to Europe if he wants to. But you, don't ask him how would he react. Okay, sit down, open your mouth and watch him to act. Don't be silly, come on. You should act. You don't know much about history. I've been involved in all the, I'm not involved, I've been around with all the coups and Nkrumah's coups and Rawlings coups. I fought Rawlings several times, we came together. I have principles in life. Here's a man, I'm not here because I want anything from Kwame. Because I'm worried about when I go, what Ghana am I leaving behind?
Wow.
And I saw, like in a dream, a savior. Like Nkrumah did. I was a young man, 10, 11 years when Nkrumah came. And Kwame reminds me of Nkrumah's coming, and while Nkrumah mobilized the youth, the unemployed, the fishermen, you know, there was only Tesla Hayford who was an educated lawyer. They were all ordinary people. Kofi Bako's father, Nat Welbeck, Nkumsa, Mumuni Baumia's father. I knew all of them. But they didn't come. Nkrumah was a leader that needed to be followed. So please, if the Electoral Commission, I will talk to them. If they don't wake up and do anything stupid, they will soon get into a civil war. Because the youth will be angry. I don't want this here. Like in Kenya or anywhere else. I don't want it. Or Sudan. Let's have a plain, level field and let the people make a choice. But don't put obstacles in anybody's way to stop him or her from standing. Or if you did that, don't blame me. You young people too. You will come to my grave and pour libation and said, General, you warned us, we didn't listen to you. May God rest you peacefully. Amen. I'm not joking. I'm serious. I'm not sitting here. My wife isn't well. I shouldn't be here. And I had to leave her and come. Because Ghana first, before even my wife. Yes. So,
that's a headline.
Those of you who are being given money to shut up, for Christ's sake, think of yourself, not even yourself, your children, your grandchildren. What kind of Ghana you are leaving behind for them to inherit? Kwame should do, Kwame should go and fight. We should fight for him. Well, he's coming to fight for us. God bless you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It seems we've come to the end of our press conference. And we wish you all the best of the day. We shall all meet another time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please, just before we have some refreshments at the.
Yeah. Mr. Mekasaka Kra. And the